The George Carlin documentary drops today. Dude, Jon Stewart says about George Carlin that what he always found amazing about Carlin is that he would treat farting with the same level of scrutiny and language and deconstruction as he would the Pope, the Catholic Church hierarchy, and the war machine. The filmmakers of this documentary, Judd Apatow and Michael Bonfiglio, juxtaposed two Carlin jokes about organized religion and flatulence. Stewart goes on to say, as a kid, I didn't understand that in any way before giving a literal chef's kiss to the comedian's close examination of the side cheek lift-up fart. Right. And then Apatow goes on to explain that Carlin's material somehow gets better with age. Everything that he's talking about in the 90s up to 2007 applies today. Highlighting Carlin's dedication to speaking very difficult truths before that was the thing in stand-up comedy. But that doesn't make the late comedian's political views any easier to categorize.
That's a pet peeve of mine is that people try to claim him on either side.
Correct, I agree.
Because for the one thing that you're being like, see, George Carlin's a genius. There's something that he said about what you love that is, will blow you up. Perfect example, a friend of mine who's a city cop posted something about his bit about climate change.
Yep.
Which, and again, there's comedy and then there's taking things seriously, and that's the problem, is that people take comedy too seriously.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It has always been like that, but now we have this sort of cancel thing that has grown. People now know their power. Like, wait, we could have done this whole time?
Right.
But so he posts this anti-climate change thing, but he's a cop.
Okay.
Have you ever heard George Carlin's bits on cops?
Actually, no, I don't think I have.
And it's summed up in one line that he repeats over and over in it. You don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the cops. Like that, because of where he grew up, Hell's Kitchen, like the
is that where he grew up, Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, and or Morningside Heights, something
from.
like that. Somewhere on the west side. He wasn't an east side guy. But like that they're just trying to fuck you. Like, and I posted that to my friend. I'm like, listen, be careful of who you're invoking.
So he's saying if you're in a situation, don't talk to the cops?
If they come to your house and knock on your door,
right,
don't talk to the cops.
Because he feels you're going to screw yourself, or he's telling you just obey, out of respect.
No, he's saying don't
really?
Tell them anything. Tell them to get lost unless they have a warrant. Get out of here. Yeah. No, that's like baby in bathwater, right? Like, so if you're going to invoke somebody, unfortunately what you're doing is you're inviting somebody else to invoke that same person to
just like took these off.
Sweaty head.
Sweaty head. Oh, is this who I think it is?
I hope so.
Hey, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Joey Kola.
That's what I thought it said on the caller ID. Good morning, Mr. Kola.
Very cool.
Good morning.
What are you doing?
I just heard you guys talking about George Carlin.
Oh, okay.
And I have something to share.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you have some cool Carlin stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Can I play a piece of tape for you?
Yeah.
In the 90s, we became friends, and we were on the phone many times, and he came to see me at the Riviera in Vegas, and then he invited me and my opening act, who was in the Vegas, Pete Voros, a comic from Connecticut, to go see him at Bally's, and we went to go see him. And but this tape I'm going to play for you now is the beginning, the genesis of our relationship. He called my manager at the time, Jeff Sussman, who also manages Joe Rogan and Kevin James now.
Yeah, cool.
He called him and left this message on Jeff's machine. I'm sorry, my throat's a little sore. He left this message on Jeff's machine, and this was the beginning of our relationship. So, can I play it?
Please.
Do it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear us?
Okay, here we go.
All right.
This is George Carlin, just calling to say that.
Oh, hold on. Let me just rewind a second. That's my daughter.
This is George Carlin, just calling to say that the reason I asked to get that Caroline show that Joey was on is because I just really like him, and I just enjoy his style. He's aggressive and very New York, a lot of energy, and I like that. It's just a personal thing. I just didn't want you to be thinking maybe I was having some kind of a project or a show I was putting together, because I'm not usually involved in that kind of stuff. I sort of do my own little stand-up and let it go at that. So I didn't want to raise any, fake flags here on what my intentions were. I do enjoy listening to Joey, and that's the only time I'd ever seen him. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're able to send me, if you have a reel with a lot of his appearances or something, I'd love to watch him. And I just like certain kinds of comics. It's a personal fan kind of thing. And I'd love to see more of his shit. You can send them to me at my home. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm not there now, but I live in Los Angeles, and it's 1520. I just continue with that address, Jeff. Send me a tape. I'd love it. 1525 Old Oak Road, Los Angeles, 90049. And I hope I run into Joey one of these days, and I can tell him myself how much I enjoy it. And thanks very much for any consideration. Bye-bye.
What? That
is so cool.
Tell me, talk about a pinch me moment.
Yeah,
Holy moly!
Isn't that amazing, man? Yeah,
so
I'm digging
cool.
through all my old tapes and stuff, and I found that. And then he came to, we obviously we exchanged numbers. I called him back, and we would, I don't want to say we ran bits or I wrote for him in any way. I never want to claim that, but we had conversations on the phone that I know led to him writing stuff and me writing stuff for my act.
Right.
In a roundabout way. Like, we had a big discussion about God one time, and he brought up, I don't pray to anybody, I pray to Joe Pesci. And I thought that was funny, and I did my impression of Joe Pesci on the phone for him. And about a year later, that he did a bit about praying to Joe Pesci in his act, and it all started on a phone call that we had. So, and we met for a sandwich and then a beer one time in New York once, briefly. But we talked on the phone a lot, and it was a cool relationship. But, in the end, he got a little bit our creative juices weren't flowing in the same direction, you just might say. I was going more autobiographical and family stuff, and he was going more out there and a little bit more rebellious, and I couldn't keep up with him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, and who could? And really, who was? You could probably count on one hand who was going in that direction at that time. Right. At that time, and now everybody's trying to do that. But what I found funny in that message, what did he say about himself? My own little comedy act or something.
Yeah.
My own little comedy act.
Just do my own
my own little comedy show, my own little comedy act. Were you able to hear it?
Yes, perfectly.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay, good.
That must. I mean, did you think that somebody was pulling your leg at first when you heard that, or were you like, "Holy shit"?
Totally. When Jeff called me and he said, I got. He goes, George Carlin called me, and I said, what? He said, yeah. For what reason? He said he called because he was interested in you. He saw you on. At that point, I had done like 4 Evening at the Improv, 4 Caroline's Comedy Hours, Showtime. All the millions of shows that were on, and I was like the guy they went to do all those shows. So he saw me on a few of them, and he liked my aggressive attitude, I guess. And he reached out to Jeff, and then Jeff said, I saved the message. Let me play it for you. And I was like, oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah, blew me away.
Very cool.
Blew me away. So if nothing else happens in my career, at least I got that,
So have you'll be watching the documentary this weekend?
I'm working up in Comedy Cove in Jersey tonight and tomorrow night. But I'm going to get it as soon as I get a chance. I'm going to see it. Ironically, Judd Apatow is the one who produced it. He came on the Drew Barrymore show recently, and I used to bring him up on my audition night at Governor's in Levittown, right where you guys are.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday Wednesday night. It was him. It was Ian Edwards. It was George Gallo.
Wow.
A bunch of really good comedians
So cool.
started in my Wednesday night at Governor's back in the early 90s, and Judd Apatow was one of them. And when I saw him on the Drew Barrymore show, he came over and he gave me a big hug, and I said, when the last time I said, ladies and gentlemen, Judd Apatow was? When we were at Governor's almost 40 years ago.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies, doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm 60, and I'm still here. I got my second stent put in February. I had my appendix out.
Oh,
I
I knew about the stent. What happened? When did the appendix come out?
in October.
Oh, so I must have known that. I don't remember.
I guess in my mind, I'm picturing like one of those Indiana Jones moments where you're like having to replace the idol with the bag of sand. So it's like you have to put the stent in and get the appendix out. But anyway, I digress. Sorry, that's what was in my head.
So, I got all health stuff going on now, but I was still able to do some stand-up. So I'm on hiatus from Rachel Ray and Drew Barrymore till September now. So
Oh, very nice.
doing some stand-up over the summer. So that's it. But I was flipping through the Facebook and saw you guys, thank God. Came up on the feed, and I said, "Oh my God, let me chime in. I got a minute." So
Cool. Well, we appreciate it very
Yeah,
much,
thank
and don't be a stranger this summer, huh? Let's.
Next couple weeks, I got some time off, so I'll give you a call, and maybe we'll stop in.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Or stop in, or we'll go to All American. Something. I miss you, pal. I haven't seen you in a while.
I miss you too, Tony.
Thank
all
you,
right,
pal.
but guys, you have a good day. All
You
right?
too, buddy.
You
I'll
too.
see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Wow,
That was awesome.
cool.
That was super cool. I love, it's the same feeling I got off of when Kevin Pollak was telling us about he and Dana Carvey
Right.
working on Perot
Yes.
impressions.
Yes.
That's the exact sound. I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool.
Yep.
Because Joey Kola, I don't think we've never actually been like, oh, hi, I'm Andy Plagenis. None of that. But when I was a kid, and it's funny he mentioned all those shows like the Caroline's Comedy Hour, the Evening at the Improv. Because in the beginning they would run through like which comedians were going to be on,
Yeah.
and he'd be one of the ones I'm like, all right, I'll watch this one then.
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
Cola's on.
Oh, I remember all that from back then. All those shows, and you would see him with he talks about doing the Pesci impression. I mean, his
Right.
voice, especially back then,
Yeah.
sounded a lot like Pesci. I remember, and he was always a ball of energy. So he'd always come out, "Hi, everybody," and he always stuck with me. And I'd see that on TV, and then I was a big. This is a nerd thing, but I used to read Newsday from cover to cover. I was a big newspaper
Me too.
guy. I used to love reading. So I would see him on TV, but then I would see, the Chuckles
ads,
and the East Side Comedy Club, and they would always have the pictures. And I still think, when I think of Joey, like the Joey that we know now with the beard and the pictures you see out there, I still, when I think of Joey, I still picture that guy in those ads.
Right.
And then who was it? Somebody just posted a picture of one of those ads.
I know, I saw it.
Just within the past week or two. I don't remember who it was, but it was one of those pictures. I was like, oh, yeah, that's the exact picture that I remember. One of those pictures of Joey. Sally didn't even recognize him. She looked at because Sally had flat left Long Island already at that point.
Right.
Well, yeah, around that time. So she didn't. So I show her the post, and she's like, "Who is that?" I go, "You don't know who that is?" And then meanwhile, his name.
It does say his name right.
right underneath it. And I said it to her. I said, "You can't read."
Are you having a stroke?
So she said, "She goes, that's Joey." I said, "Yeah, that's Joey." So, but yeah, so it's talking about him with Carlin, like a pinch me moment. So I do admit sometimes, as a guy who's always admired him and his comedy, has known who he is for 40 years.
Right.
Sometimes sometimes there is a little pinch me moment when I'm just bullshitting on the phone with him. When he told me, I remember back in February, I had the stint out. I remember talking to him like 2 days afterwards to see how he was feeling. And it is a little. I enjoy his friendship, but I love his friendship actually. But then sometimes I do. There is a few moments I'm like, holy shit, it's Joey Kola.
So this.
Oh, there it is.
It was Rob White.
Okay.
who's
Isn't it
he's
his
a
birthday
Suffolk guy.
today?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, Rob White.
So
Let me. Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Yeah, get in closer.
closer with the. I'm so bad with this opposite thing.
There you go. So that's
Middle top of
Yeah.
the.
So that's Joey. Forget it. That's
fucking pause it. You wanna, that was plenty of time. But yeah, who's on this? Chris Titus.
Oh, yeah.
What is going to be at Governor's. And then every Long Island Talent Search with Joey Kola every Sunday at 8:30.
And what club is this for?
This was Governors.
Oh, it was Governors.
That particular one, he's on both of these.
Yeah, there was another
ads.
ad, right.
And then Rosie O'Donnell for October 6th and 7th, 9 and 12. Wow. Boy, talk about the Late Show being obnoxious. Let's see, who do you have here? Then you have Joey Kola in the East Side Comedy Club.
Wasn't Chris Rush on one of those or something? No?
Gift of Life, hosted by, seen on Pat Sajak, +7 Top Comics. Okay. Richie Minervi with Morty Storm. And you got Pat Cooper on here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, you know what? Do that. Zoom in on Joey's face and then show it again.
Well, okay, I'll do the East Side Comedy Club one first. It seems like every time I turn.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Well, so they're both Joey.
Yeah,
both of those
yeah.
pictures of Joey. That top one is the one I remember a lot, seeing all over the place.
Yes, because
whenever
I think
he's
that's
playing.
his like his serious headshot.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow.
Very
That's
cool.
crazy.